K5. Costing the times like that. Getting these lines out the best.
Oops. Wrong bit link.
Everyone's burning battery. I found a lot of battery.
One sec, getting the stream going. Right, here we go. Comms for the Brazilian Grand Prix. We have Roy leading from K5, then Angie, Aweb, Trixie, Leisure, Fexen, Pickerick, Arcas, and Umka. Welcome in. We have live racing action happening right in front of you. We're watching on board now with Angie. Not on board, but let's see. Angie at the moment, following relatively closely to the cars ahead of Roy the Boy and K5M5. Roy is in the lead, but K5 is trying to take it away from him. And around the outside, K5 not really left the space by the Williams. Roy carries on as per in the lead. Then it's Angie. Then it's Arweb, Trixie, and Leisure, but K5 is now going for the lead on Roy once again, down towards the Cedar de Lago, and Roy just about keeps ahead. And towards Ferragiro, there will be no chance. It's a Williams 1-3 at the moment. It's looking very good for the Williams outfit. There's Arweb, Trixie, and Leisure are P4, P5, and P6, so no chances for any of them at the moment. They are just following in sync right now. So, looking to the race, we have K5 up ahead trying to pass Roy the Boy, and we suspect he'll get him this lap now. DRS wide open, and that should be a nice straight line pass for K5M5. Going down the inside and might make it 3 wide between Roy, K5 and Angie. It's not going to happen though. Roy actually stays ahead. His low downforce is really paying off, but Trixie actually passed Arweb in all of that. So checking tyres at the moment. Oh, it's Arweb and Leisure both on the hard tyres. Head down, the race will come to you. Everyone around you is on mediums. Yeah. We're watching Roy on the back of K5M5. K5 is kind of holding the field back. Then it's Roy, Angie, Trixie, Awa, Pexin, Leisure. There are 7 cars possibly in the fight for the win today. And Roy the Boy sort of making an impression on K5, but not really at the moment, not a huge impression. Roy gets DRS, that protects him from Angie behind, but I think Angie might benefit from a driver swap because Roy the Boy at the moment is on much lower battery. They're sort of recharging right now, and I think K5 might as well just drag along everyone else with them. So Fexin splits the 2 Mercs, and Arweb splits the 2 McLarens. Roy the Boy sailing back into the lead. Low battery to boot, but he has got the lead back now. So, yeah. Looking to the field, I think the guys on hard tyres, they're probably going to have to chill until about lap 10 is around the start of the crossover. And the medium runners will probably be in around lap 14, lap 15, so the overcut will be there for them. Roy the Boy and K5M5 are your two race leaders at the moment. K5 has a full tank of battery to try attack with, and it might not happen because there's a spin. It's Arcas and nothing doing at the moment. K5 surges to the inside, and is he going to get this move done? No, he's not. He's actually backed out of it completely. He dropped down to none. And Angie might fancy a chance at K5M5 at this rate, but K5 seems to be really, really patient behind the back of Roy. But he knows if he makes a Williams 1-2, then it's going to be very difficult to come back from that. Lejeur's battery is definitely too low. Orfexen makes a mistake and Lejeur gets up into P6, but Lejeur really now needs to try to stick within DRS. Might need to burn a bit more this lap to make sure that happens. And now we're looking towards Arweb, who's following in the wheel tracks of Truxie, who's really starting to struggle now. Both McLaren cars actually really struggling. It's pretty much a three-way fight between Williams, McLaren, Mercedes, and then Red Bull car at the front. As K5 gets the lead, Roy the Boy's following in the wheel tracks, and Angie is still stuck behind. And Lejeur might have Fexen to contend with if he doesn't get back within range right now. I think he's just about got DRS. We'll see. This is going to affect everything. No DRS, and McLaren is going to surge through pretty easily with that. Fexen up into 6th place once more. Now, Arweb's battery management looking very, very nice at the moment. Truxie's battery is only on about 25%. He's not really managing it properly. In fact, the top 3 are starting to pull away from Truxie, so... And Fexen has spun off into the grass. Fexen is no longer a threat to this race now, and Lejeur's going to have to hope that the front 3 keep battling so he can get back within DRS range. And Arweb has a very good chance to pass Truxie on this lap. In fact, I think if I were Arweb, I'd start burning the overtake just so he can pass Truxie. And now Arweb is on the back of the McLaren. Can he get a move? Truxie's on hot lap. Arweb's on hot lap too. Are we going to see a move? We're seeing 2 moves at the front. Both Williams have passed K5, and Arweb goes down the inside of Truxie, side to side, wheel to wheel. The McLaren stays ahead, and both Williams got past K5M5. So now they have a great chance to play some Williams team games and get the move done. And Arweb is trying to pass Truxie, but he's being blocked on the straight, and absolutely nothing doing there for him. Truxie's battery is now only on 10%. He used up everything, so next lap you'll have plenty of battery to go after Truxie. He's dropped it down to none though. Was that a move we saw from Arweb into the first hairpin? Possibly. Second hairpin might see a chance. No chance at the moment. Williams are racing 1-2, and they're trying to protect each other's 1-2 lead, with K5M5 in hot pursuit of both of them. Arweb, Truxie, Lejeur. Truxie's had a spin off, and now Arweb gains the place on Truxie. Truxie made a mistake. Arweb capitalized very, very quickly, and Arweb will have DRS to boot. Arweb up into P4. Great stuff from Arweb. He's up into P4. And Angie now going for the lead. Roy drops down to 3rd. He's wheel to wheel with K5M5 into turn 2. And Roy manages to get back ahead of K5M5. Williams are 1-2 once more. And Arweb is up in P4 right now. All 3 cars at the front don't really have much battery to play with. Neither does Arweb and Truxie. Neither does Lejeur. They're all pretty much out of battery. Pretty much everyone in the top 6 has no more battery left. And Roy makes a massive mistake. K5 side by side with him. K5, no opportunity available though. And Arweb will be looking for his chance. Nothing at the moment. Arweb in the background. 4-way fight for the win now, because Truxie and Lejeur kind of dropped back. And Fexen had 2 spins that were very, very costly in his race. So now, Arweb looking for a move on K5. Now is not the lap to do it. Now is the lap to start building up the battery advantage. But K5 is going to go for it anyway on Roy, even though he's only got 25% battery left. Both Williams very low on battery. Angie on 50, Roy on about 25. K5 M5 in P3. R-Web struggling to stay within DRS. I think he might have made a mistake somewhere, because Trixie is now back within DRS range of him. R-Web has got an issue of... Oh, 2 cars up ahead. They've both gone off together, both Williams. R-Web, what's the issue?
My stream was paused, so I don't have POV for the first 9-10 laps. That's why it was in AI for a second.
No worries, I've got my own stream open. Whatever happened, there was nothing that happened anyway. You'll be fine.
The only thing would be with Trixie, when I made the 2 dive attempts. That's the worst thing I did, and I still think that was very fair.
Yeah, you should be fine, you should be fine. We're watching the car... Vaguely. I mean, I can unplug it if I... Angie back past K5. Angie and K5 are using up all their battery battling each other. The front 3 have only got 30% battery left. K5 into turn 4, back ahead. And middle sector now presents a really good chance to save the battery, because the medium runners are going to be stopping anytime soon. Potential moves into the second hairpin, we might see it. Not from anyone at the moment though. But the battery's looking good among the front 4. K5 on 50%, Angie on 60, Roy on 60, and R-Web with a full tank of battery. So we might see a move from R-Web on Roy if he wants to burn his battery. And he is going to do that, and we are going to see him get closer. Roy is not defending against R-Web at the moment, so if R-Web gets closer, Roy's still not defending. Now he's defending. Angie's going for the lead on K5. And down the inside goes R-Web. Down the inside goes Angie. 2 car moves at the same time. Roy just about stays ahead of R-Web. And K5 M5 is now going for the repass on Angie. R-Web is trying to get closer. Roy's not really defending. K5 down the inside into Desida de Lago. Great move from K5. Repasses Angie and gets that lead back. Roy was not really defending against R-Web in terms of his battery usage on that straight. Oh, 2 cars off. 2 cars off. And that should put R-Web back up into second. Now it's R-Web versus Roy. Once more as it was in the sprint. Right. It's time for R-Web to take great care. Roy's on none. And he's on 85% battery. He is full battery save. And just a note for the hard tyre runners, when the medium guys pit, you want to be in the lead of the pack before they pit. So, because you can sit behind them for now and be 5/10ths back, but if they box when they're 5/10ths ahead, then they keep that advantage over you. So you want to make sure you're ahead of them before they have to stop. And R-Web, he looks like he's going to go for the move. Roy's going defensive as well. Lots of battery usage. And Roy off the track once more. That could be another warning for Roy. K5 and Angie following in the wheel tracks very, very closely. Je might want to drop his battery down to none. That would be wise of the Mercedes. If a safety car came out, everyone would be in the pits right now. Hard tyres would box for mediums, even though it's very close to make it to the end. Mediums would be in for hards. Roy is not using his overtake on this straight. He's staying on medium, but he will have DRS. And he's going to get closer, and he's going to take the lead once more. It's critical that only Roy passes. Now Roy gets the move done. And it's Arweb down to second place. Angie has a 3-second time penalty already, we believe, for track limits. And Lejeur's following firmly in this battle. Right. The middle sector's very critical for all cars to recharge. And passing on this lap is going to be critical for Arweb because all the medium runners are going to be entering their pit windows. Similar thing for Lejeune. If he had any pace to pass Angie right now, he'd want to start using it. Lejeune going for the overtake in an unusual location. Jun Sao. Angie makes a slight mistake, but just about survives it. And Angie is going defensive now. He's really scared of the threat of Lejeune. And Roy, is he boxing? Yes, he is. That's what we talked about in terms of boxing when you're in the lead. Roy kept his advantage, and now Arweb has the lead. Now Arweb needs to make sure that K5 stays behind him until he boxes. That's going to be critical. And Angie's going to be in on this lap. So it's important for Lejeune to at least have a go. Another critical point for the hard tyre runners, I'd say, is don't get caught battling the medium runners right now, or because Roy's undercut is going to start to drag him out of DRS range when everyone else stops. Very critical for the medium runners not to get squabbling with each other. K5 has 100% battery. He's shaping up for a move on Arweb. K5 still sitting on none for whatever reason. And Angie's in. Lejeune might have a chance to force K5 into a defense. K5's using overtake now. Lejeune has a chance on K5. K5's still on none. Lejeune gets close, but not close enough. And now K5 will surely have to stop this lap, so it's all about making sure you're still in the lead when everyone else boxes. And watching Angie, he has been undercut quite significantly by Roy. Ice Cream talks about endless pain. Yep, damn right for you, McLaren. At least you have D1. Right, K5 in, and now for the two Mercedes, they want Lejeune to stay within DRS of Arweb. Maybe it's time for the DRS ping pong where Lejeune passes and then Arweb repasses on the straights each lap, sort of like Belgium between me and Lejeune. Let's see. Arweb can use this chance to save his battery, and Lejeune can use the chance to get within DRS. It's very critical that the Mercedes work together with their DRS game. Is Lejeune getting DRS? Just about. They've timed it perfectly. Perfect. And Lejeune will just about get DRS. Now, Roy, Angie, Truxie, K5, they have all completely separated off into their own races now with when they boxed. So they're all driving on their own and not fighting, so it's critical that this remains the same. In terms of Fexen's retired in the pit lane, that will not bring out a safety car. In terms of pit stops, whoever is leading on lap 20 needs to stop, and then the second place guy stops on lap 21. Leisure following with a DRS, not close enough for a DRS ping pong. Roy has gained around 8/10 on that last lap. Let's see the lap time comparison. This lap Roy sets, okay. .10.4, so Roy gained 1.1 seconds on R-Web this lap. Right, sit behind him, Leisure. I'd say sit behind him, unless... No, I think sit behind him.
How much battery do you have, Leisure? How much?
R-Web, box this lap, R-Web, if you're leading by the time we get to the pit lane. You guys have two options. You stop lap 20 and 21, so this lap and next lap, or next lap and the lap after. But critical thing is, the leader boxes first, so that he does not get undercut by the guy in second, I think. Yeah. So, Leisure, you can use R-Web as a DRS slingshot because you've got full battery now, and R-Web will be in the pits this lap. Right, R-Web boxing this lap now. We'll ride on board with Roy as they go into the pit lane. And it's going to be Leisure leading, 1:11.1 on that last lap. And Roy's lap is going to be a 1:10.4, so it's 7/10 gap, and Leisure will surely have to be in the pits at the end of this lap. R-Web out of the pit lane. He will be ahead of K5, but it's going to be close to Trixie. I don't know how K5 lost so much time in the pits, but yeah, something really strange happened to K5. I'll go watch his lap times. Let's see what's cooking there. So, I think K5 spun on his outlap because he lost 6 seconds on his outlap. Leisure into the box now. Trixie on about 50% battery. So R-Web has a chance to get him into turn 4. We'll see how this battle develops, but Trixie is on 6 lap old hard, so it's very big grip difference. I think R-Web should go for it this lap, and he is going to go for it, and he gets closer, Trixie can't offer a defense, and that is R-Web clean through past Trixie and up into the podium places. And now R-Web's just got the Williams to chase. Both Williams 3.2 and 5.7 ahead at the moment. Are backing up into podium. And Leger needs to save his battery like crazy right now because K5 is going to be slowing him up. There might be a move into the second hairpin, but I wouldn't risk it. In terms of what's happening elsewhere, we just watch... Actually, this is the only thing going on right now. Trixie might try have a repass on our web, but that would be a bit bold. Diamonds, you're a very strong person. How did you survive Season 4? Oh, behind McLaren. Might get flashback from yesterday. I survived it. I don't know. I don't know. I just did. You gotta accept you're not the front runner anymore. It's Leger's day. It's Leger's season. Now, in terms of how Arweb and Leger can clear their respective drivers from DRS range, what I did to clear Leger in a practice race yesterday was turn up my battery to hot lap in the middle sector, and that helped me bridge the DRS gap. But neither of them have the battery to do that at the moment, so they just need to gradually eke out the gap without getting attacked again. There is a disconnected Alpine up ahead of Arweb who's going to start feeding him DRS if he catches him in the right place of the track. Trixie has a lot of battery saved up. Leger's almost going to get in range of Trixie. Arweb gaining on both Angie and Roy. Angie's closing up to Roy very slightly, but I think Angie got a few tenths advantage from the disconnected Alpine's DRS. So let's watch. Because Trixie has about 60% battery and he's using it to great effect to keep following, and that could be a bit of a pain in the backside later on if the hard tyres come into their own. After Leger gets within DRS of Trixie, he really needs to sort out this battery situation. K5 behind him has more battery at the moment, and he's using it to great avail. Alright, this is Leger's chance to get within DRS. And in terms of Arweb's chance to get DRS off the Alpine, no chance at the moment. He's still a bit too far back from my view. No DRS aboard the Mercedes just yet, but Trixie's gaining. K5 starting to fall back. He's also lost his battery advantage. And Trixie's very close to Arweb. Arweb might have to be a bit careful into Decido del Lago, but Trixie's not attacking. This Alpine is pretty fast for ATAI. Huh.
Not disconnected.
Oh.
He's just
Oh. That makes sense. Well, he's off into the wall now, so that's no issue. Right, getting DRS on Angie pretty soon is going to be a thing. Leger could pass Trixie next. This lap is possible. Trixie's on hot lap though, so it's going to take a big effort. And Leger would really benefit if he were to battle Trixie hard enough that Arweb escapes. So Leger gaining. Leger probing at this McLaren. Gaining down this back straight. And Trixie going for a move on Arweb actually. Turned attack into defense pretty quickly for the regime. And Arweb seems to be caught lacking somewhat because Leger, Trixie were gaining, and Trixie now has another chance. Leger trying to force a move to the outside. Has to go to the grass. And that will maybe be in the steward's room afterwards if there was enough room or not. Angie's sort of this Alpine disconnected. Is he gonna let surely feed him DRS? Nope. Not happening. Right, Leger. Now he has a chance on Trixie once again. And Trixie is far enough away that he's not going to attack Arweb. Trixie is using all of his battery, as is Leger. And they now head towards turn 1 once more. Leger now looking to the outside. Trixie has a bit more battery to spend though, and he uses it to stay ahead. Very important for Leger and Trixie that they don't run out of battery before the end of the straight, because then they're just bleeding away all the speed they build up. Leger going for a move once again. Not quite close enough though. And Leger's now doing the right thing, dropping it to none, because they're all stuck in their own battle pack. Yeah. Angie's battery's looking very good at the moment. He's on 60%. Arweb's looking alright. He's up to 40. Trixie up to 30. Leger up to 50. And Arweb using overtake through the middle sector to get within DRS. He's done that to great effect. And now has DRS on Angie. And Leger's going to go for it once again with Trixie, but Leger made the same mistake of running out of battery before the end of the straight. Is that going to let Trixie stay ahead? Yes, it is. Leger's got to be careful to make sure his battery lasts the whole straight, because Trixie managed to stay ahead again because of that. Leger, once again, potential chance. Not there. Not quite there. Now, Angie's probably incentivized to slow down the field to help Roy win, so there may be some tactics being played by these Williams, and the other cars may want to keep their eyes out for driving unnecessarily slowly. I think we're seeing it from Angie now, and everyone sitting behind needs to go on none. And do not let Angie play DRS games at all. Right, it's time. Right, Trixie on hot lap. Leger this time make sure his battery lasts the entire straight. And he's going to get a slipstream on Trixie. But he's going to run out just before again. And Trixie managed to keep his battery going for the full straight. Arweb has DRS on Angie to try maybe go around the outside into Desida del Lago, and he's going to get the move done. Arweb up into second place. Now that is an important move made by the Mercedes. Angie will try fight back into Ferragiro. No move for him. Angie will try fight back again. No move. Angie's down on his battery now. Only 20% left. And his tyres are starting to struggle. Leger making similar mistakes with Trixie as we get to lap 30 of this race. Now he wants to use overtake for only like half the straight just to make sure it lasts to the end if he's going for a move this lap. But it looks like he's not. He's sitting back, waiting patient. Trixie's going for it though, and that's the ERS advantage that Lejeune might just need. Angie's battery now completely empty, as is Arweb's. Angie's going to go for it into Decido del Lago, and he hits Arweb! And that's going to be Angie's fault in the steward's room. That's definitely getting reported afterwards. Angie going for a very stupid send on Arweb, and once again the Williams drivers showing why they're the dirty guys of the grid. Angie with a damaged wing as well, drops behind K5M5, and you just knew that was going to happen as soon as he tried that. What a dumb-ass move from Angie. Now we have Trixie up in second place, and looks like this may have been even more tactical tactics from Angie. Yeah, just to let Roy go or something like that. That was, frankly, a nonsense move to even try. Web, you don't have damage, right?
No damage. That's fine.
Yeah. Ice Cream's mocking your battery management, all of your guys. They're all on really low battery, except Roy. Web now going for it with Trixie. Down the inside. Gets a move done cleanly and shows Angie how you get a move done cleanly at Decido del Lago. Trixie's gaining. Not enough though. Trixie doesn't have the straight line speed. Does Lejeune have the pace to catch Roy? If he doesn't, then Mercedes may want to consider their options of swapping. Not on this lap, but maybe next lap. Web, you want to recover your battery. Totally get it to the brim. Right, Web has the DRS on Lejeune, and Lejeune's not going to fight this one. Web is going to get through into second place now, and Web, we'll see, can he catch Roy with only 3 laps to go? Angie pitting for the fastest lap. And Lejeune's job now, make sure that Trixie doesn't attack both Mercedes. Lejeune needs to let Web get a 7, 8, 10th buffer here. Just... yeah. Roy's battery around 50%. He's keeping it nice and stable, but I think his pace might be dropping off. It's going to be super tight to the end of the race, and now Web has stored his battery perfectly. So now he can push full send all the way to the end of the Grand Prix. And Lejeune is doing the gap building perfectly as well. Trixie now, even if he battles with Lejeune, he won't be able to get anywhere near Web. Trixie is burning. He is trying to get closer, but he won't get close enough. And he's going to look for a gap, but he's not going to send it. Leger sitting on 100% battery now, and I think they are holding position to the end of the race now. Web not going to catch Roy. I think the medium tyres have seen their best. And Leger has to consider Trixie right behind him, and Trixie not burning that dramatically. I think he's waiting for turn 4, so turn 4 we might see a battle between Leger and Trixie, because Trixie has battery to burn in abundance. Now we look to the final overtaking zone other than the drag race to the line, and Trixie saving as well, so I think, yeah. Right, Web is low on battery. He could be vulnerable to Trixie in the drag race to the line as we head now to the final lap of this race. And Trixie's looking for moves into the hairpin, I think. That's spun around Alpine. That stays out of the way of all the cars. And Web and Leger managing their battery now to make sure that for the drag race they have enough battery to survive. Web's looking a bit of a doubt. Leger's got enough. Web doesn't really. Trixie has enough battery to challenge Leger, so we'll see it. On the run now, down towards the final corner of the final lap. Having failed to overcome the Mercedes yesterday, has now done it today as Roy the Boy wins in D2 at Brazil. Web stays ahead of Leger. Trixie P4. K5 in P5 having had some sort of spin or issue on his outlap. Angie is going to finish in P6 after possibly looking like a win contender, but then bottling it in dramatic fashion. Pickle is going to finish in P7, having a very anonymous race. Didn't really do anything noteworthy. Neither did Arcas, neither did Umka. And Umka won't be classified because he's AI the whole race. So Williams P1 and a Mercedes double podium, with McLaren sort of lagging back in the mud now with P4 and no points on Fexen's side of the garage. I've just received some insider information that K5's delay on his outlap might have something to do with Roiderboy. It might be that, it might be something else. We will see it in the steward's room potentially. But as it stands on the track at the moment, your race winner, the Dutchman Roiderboy, winning in D2, took a podium in the sprint and took the Grand Prix win in style. 1.8 seconds ahead of Web, and the key to the win, I'd say, from watching it, was definitely the undercut. He got the undercut on Angie, K5 and all the other cars, and that in the end was critical to his race win. Hi Roy, congrats. Yeah, good stuff, good job, good job. Yeah, K5 gave me that insight as well. Let's see if he actually delivers on it. But for now, okay, I'll end off the stream now. So Mercedes 2-3, good stuff. Maybe I could have taken points off of, could have taken maybe like possibly P4 backing up, but it is what it is. I'm racing D1 tomorrow, so see you guys see by stream.